I would walk a mile from the bus stop to where he was, the long gray buildings where the fog ended. I only saw him through squinted eyes. The blur of the old, scratched windows skewed my vision. I stood on the outside, and him on the inside, separated by the cemetery window, with one hand holding the cold telephone to my inattentive ear and the other pressed against the division between us. I prepared for our routine goodbye. His hand would rise to meet mine where they should have touched. He always ended the visit with an I love you. I would hang up the phone, drop my hand, turn and walk away, whispering I love you to the solemn air that cannot reach his ears. Love from a daughter he cannot hear. I learned to fill the hole he left within me, perfecting my facade of normalcy by excelling in my studies. I was obsessed with being number one because that was all I remember you telling me. You're destined for greatness. Do all the things I couldn't do. You are my life, my love, my soul, my number one. I would do anything for you. But he couldn't do everything for me when his permanent residency was behind a set of bars instead of the rat-infested one-bedroom apartment with the lonely twin-size bed where Mom and I survived. Once he was my happiness, but almost too soon, he became darkness too. When he got out and re-entered my life as a preteen, I felt like I didn't need him then. I was forced to mature beyond my years, and I attributed you as the one who helped me put up these guards of steel. And then you had the nerve to call me cold. But no amount of jail time could skew his bronze tail because he never changed. He would come home late belligerent and antagonistic, slurring his words out of his whiskey-drenched mouth and not even see how its violets could mask. And other times, he just didn't come. I would take the 6 train to Hunts Point to look for you. He'd be in the same spot every time. His eyes were closed and mouth wide open, nodding, leaning over bit by bit until he was inches from smacking his face on the pavement. But he wouldn't fall. I would feel the blood rush to my cheeks. My heart would accelerate. I would look around to make sure no one I knew was there, and when the coast was clear, I would run up to him and grab his bruised arm from scabbed spots where his skin popped, and I'd yell, "You disgust me, you embarrass me, you shame me." His response, "I'm sorry, I love you." How could you love me? I come second to the drink and the substance. He made it clear who's his number one. I'm not a kid anymore. Don't you dare fucking lie to me. He would tell me to watch my mouth. I would retort, "Oh, now you want to be a father." And I knew my words cut him deep. My tongue murdered his soul, and I relished in it. When his tears would fall, I would turn away because he deserved it. I tried to hurt you just as much as you hurt me. But even with my slanderous words and cutthroat ways, his love for me never wavered. It always remained. It was his genuine heart that would push him to go to rehab, but his weak mentality that would force him to relapse. Being clean for a year proved too big a feat, and then the transplant rejection came. Helpless after none of my family members were a match, I took the test and my heart dropped when I was his only match. I'd give him part of my liver if it meant he'd stay a bit longer, but the steady ticking clock became the enemy. And your fight to make up for our lost time was the exhausted competitor until I said, "You can let go now, Dad. You don't need to suffer anymore. I'm sorry I haven't told you enough that you are my life, my love, my soul, my number one." And when he did let go, he taught me a life lesson. Just because someone is an alcoholic and drug addict doesn't necessarily make them a bad person, just a weak and foolish one. And just because someone isn't doesn't necessarily make them good or better. Out of all the things he did wrong, he made me. Him that helped me develop my strong will and determination, my yearning to be better than the hand I was given, my ability to stand tall in the face of adversity, my fight against the forces trying to pin me down, my desire